Hi, my name is Eric Bryan, and this is my CSE 335 class project. The idea for this project was to create an application that would help fishermen such as myself to plan and document their fishing trips. It would do this by allowing the user to create locations in the application and also to add some of their favorite pictures of this location. Some of the statistics that I wanted to be recorded in this application were the amount of fish caught as well as the total number of times that the fisherman has been to this location. When selecting a location, the weather should be also displayed, and this can be helpful as it will help in planning trips. Say if someone was bored and wanted to possibly go fishing at one of their favorite fishing spots, they could check the weather in that area at the moment, and if it's not suitable for fishing, then they know not to go there. And also, I want the application to have a map view of the fishing location. So this is my UML diagram. Here you can see the main view controller. On this view, you can see that we have a table which stores each of the location entities in a particular cell. Some of the functions you can see in here is accessing the number of rows, storing it into the table, and displaying. And also down here, this is the add a new location view controller, where the user can create a new fishing location with the name. They can add a picture with the image picker controller, and they can also set the total amount of fish caught and the amount of times visited to this location. And then in the detail view controller, this is what displays all the information about a particular fishing spot. So when you click on your spot, it will show a lot of statistics such as the number of fish, the number of times that you visited. It'll show the temperature and the general weather in the area, and it also displays, if you can see here, an image of the location as well as a map view of the location. And this is my MVC diagram, and it basically says the same thing, just that the controller updates the view by sending new information to the labels and objects, as well as the map, and how the model updates the controller by saving new data to the core data. It also is in charge of incrementing the fish counts and updating the map. And the view is what actually sends the user input to the controller, and just the general interactions. So some of the capabilities of my application: it utilizes core data because I wanted this application to be more of a personal touch, because you want to just know what your personal statistics are. It makes more sense just to store it directly on the user's phone rather than connecting to the cloud. And I wanted, in my capabilities, I also was able to create these fishing location entities and update their fish counts for each location, as well as the number of visits. Some of the limitations that my application has: sometimes it can be kind of slow, and I had originally planned to be able to store pictures of any fish caught at your fishing locations, but that was more complicated than I thought and has not been implemented yet. But I plan to. And the last limitation is some of the only statistics that I currently have are the fish counts and the visit counts, and I want to also expand that in the future to show some more interesting statistics. Some of the lessons that I learned throughout this project are to utilize threads if or whenever possible. Part of the reason why I think my app can feel slow sometimes is because I have a lot of different processes going in sequential order. It would make a lot more sense if I took the time to create separate threads and allow the data to transfer quicker. Also, experiment with the UI. I was having a hard time with my application because I just wasn't happy with the way that it looked, but I took some time and played around with changing the tables background to have pictures, or changing the size of the cells, and basic things that make the app look prettier, and it actually really improved the overall feel of my application. So I'd say experiment as much as you can. And also, pretty obvious, plan ahead before you code. There were a few times where I just went straight to coding and ended up making a couple crucial mistakes. And with core data, if you make a mistake and you have to change it, you have to completely uninstall the application, and it was a lot of hassle. So before you just jump straight in, plan and have a game plan before you continue. Some suggestions that I would have for the class. One would be to continue and possibly even do more of the lab days. Typically it seemed like we had about one lab day a week if there was a lab due that week, and it was really nice to me because when I had trouble, it was good to know that I could stay during class time and get my questions answered. But also, if I happened to have finished the application or had no questions, then I was free to go work on anything else that I had at the moment instead of remaining in class, which was nice. Another suggestion would be for the preparation for tests, the study guides were usually pretty helpful. However, it would be nice if there were some possible example questions or sample questions. Sometimes the study guides weren't too specific, and there were some surprising questions, at least to me. So it'd be nice if a couple questions were given so that we could have some practice as well. And also, another suggestion, my final suggestion, would be that possibly assign partner or group-based projects. A lot of these projects have been really fun to do on your own, and it's interesting to see how much we can do. But I feel that if we have a partnered or a group project, these applications can get larger and more interesting. And I think it'd be really interesting to see what a group application would look like by the end of the semester. So I think that might be an interesting path to think about. All right, and now I'll go ahead and show my application. So this is the application here. This is the main view controller, which just has the table with all of the currently stored fishing locations. I just put some of my favorite places that you can fish. So when you want to add a new location, you click up here. Just taking a second. My laptop can be kind of slow too. Perfect. And this is the screen where you create a new location entry. And for the sake of it, I'll do this one here. So I'll do Tempe. Yeah, I'll do Tempe Town Lake for this one. But it's not typing. There we go. Tempe Town Lake. And then I'll select an image to store with that location. This one looks like a lake. Perfect. West Rio Salado Parkway.
let's say that I've been to this location once and I caught 3 fish on that occasion. Then I will add this location. Perfect. Everything goes blank. Now if I go back to my fishing spots and I update, and there we are, Tempe Town Lake right there. So when you click on any of these, you'll be able to go to the detail view controller, and it'll show you the statistics as well as the map and picture. So I'll go ahead and click on the one that we just created. Alrighty, so here we are. Just takes a second to load. So we have Tempe Town Lake, and as it was before, it shows the amount of times fished here that I put was once, and I caught the 3 fish. And here's the picture I stored. Here's the map view based on the address that I input, and also, there we go, the weather in the area is displayed there with the temperature and the wind conditions and the overall coverage. And then if you want to document the amount of fish that you caught after a fishing trip, you can do that here. So say after this last time I went fishing, I caught 2 more fish. And I can hit add. Perfect. So now it says I've been to this location twice, and I've caught a total of 5 fish, which is what I wanted to know. And so that is my application.